The Concordia University Center for Creative Reuse, nicknamed Sucker, is both environmentally friendly and financially accessible to students. It works by collecting excess supplies and used art materials from places around campus and makes them readily available to the Concordia community. Located halfway between the ground floor and the basement in the hall building, the Concordian checked it out this week.
Sucker, Concordia University Center for Creative Reuse, opened in March 22nd, just this past one. And it was a long time coming. I actually did my master's research in art education about other creative reuse centers in Canada. So I visited a site in Winnipeg and learned about what they were doing there, diverting usable materials from their community. And knowing that Concordia has a lot of usable materials that end up in the landfill, we set on the mission to sort of divert that and make it available to our community here. So, yeah, I went around and did some fundraising and gathered a team together to put all of the works in to make this space happen. I won Big Hairy Idea, which was a CCSL grant that was in 2016. That was mission to kind of change something big on campus. If you have a big, crazy something, let's make it happen. And that was a partnership grant that I was able to get $45,000 to make that happen. And then we also received funding from SAF, the Sustainability Action Fund, to help with all of the logistics and buying equipment and the build, which was great. Actually, we were so lucky to hire a sustainable builder, Arian Weeks, who is also now on as our depot coordinator. And his goal and mission was to use the reused materials that we found, source them within the university to build all of this. So actually, the only money that was spent for our actual build was wheels and screws.
So it was pretty much a blank slate when I first saw this space. There was nothing in here. It was an empty cage. The floor hadn't even been painted yet. And I think through this project, we actually got the university to be like, hey, maybe we should paint all our floors. And that's what eventually happened. But I'd never done that before. Usually, as a designer, I work with plans, I work with drawings, and then start to build. Whereas this was, okay, I have this old piece of a kiosk or from a vernissage or something. I need to turn it into a storage unit for wood or metal or whatever. And so that was, I think, the most fun part about building the space was seeing the potential in something and then turning it into something else, whether it was a shelving unit or a large table in the workspace. Yeah, it was definitely a creative process, definitely outside of my comfort zone when it comes to building, but definitely a lot of fun and a challenge on a daily basis. How do I only have so many weeks left before we open. We need so much shelving. We need, storage bins. We need racks to hold paintings and offcuts of wood and things like that.
So this, first and foremost, it's a waste diversion project. We're talking about tons of material and diverting that. So it's a resource. It basically collects and keeps materials out of the landfill. To date, we've actually diverted over 4 tons of material. Any little thing that we can do to give an object one more round, that really helps the environment and makes a small but really critical impact. So if you can think about coming here before you buy new things and find it here, so preventing new purchasing, and you think about how it's going to be used again while you're making or while you're doing that, and then before you throw it out, you pause and you think about reuse, and maybe it comes back in a new way. I think we're sort of trying to change the culture around reuse and make that more of an everyday practice, which is amazing because we really thought that we would be, working on a smaller scale than that. But materials are needed, and people are coming in to use them for projects, for their classes. They're building things for their apartments. They're gathering school supplies. They're bringing them to art hives. They're doing visual art with it. The possibilities are really endless once it's in front of you and you can kind of see and problem solve.